Yes.
So what are we supposed to be doing?
Here is my lovely audience. I have 5 people. Here we go. All right. This is our happy guy. Mm-hmm. So most of us have had either an acquaintance or a friend in our lives who's just always happy, right? You guys can think of somebody like that, okay? It doesn't matter what happens, something bad, like a car accident, right? And they're always able to find the brighter side of life, okay? So I would venture to guess that most of us would have one of 2 reactions. Either this person is extremely annoying, or we wish we could figure out what makes them happy and be happier ourselves. So we all want to be happy, right? Yeah? Okay. That motivates almost everything that we do. So what makes us happy? How about this? This is fame. Right? Some people are attracted by this. I don't think any of us, or most of us, won't achieve celebrity status like this, but the idea of being popular or admired is something that a lot of people like. How about this? Fortune, money, right? Well, they say that money can't buy happiness, but I think it can help a lot. In my situation, I need a house, right? And I need money to buy a house. And if I buy a house and get out of my parents' house, they'll be happy and I'll be happy, right? Okay. How about this? Fancy cars. Most people who have a lot of money have cars. I think for a lot of people, this type of thing represents their success. The more of this, the more of material things you have, right? The better your success you have. How about partying? Starting to party from a young age, never stop partying, yeah? I think a lot of people like to party, but it also gets a lot of people into trouble. How about this? Good food. Yeah? Who thinks this is good food? I got 2 no's. Or there's this. I got a yes. Good tasting food. Yeah, I got another yes. All right. How about relaxing on the beach? Does that make you happy? Happiest place on earth, some say. Self-declared. Disneyland. How about sports? I know several people who their entire happiness revolves around sport. Nobody in this room, of course. This is exercise. It kind of looks like dancing, which is also exercise, but exercise, is something that gets your good, happy hormones going, endorphins, that kind of thing, which creates happiness. Okay, so this guy is on top of the world, literally. Do you remember where this is?
Yeah. Mount Everest.
Mount Everest, good job. So to me, this represents personal achievement, which I think makes us happy. This is something that's certainly difficult to do on a lot of levels. How about this? This is family. Cute little cartoon family. I think most people find happiness in their families. And friends. Okay, so this is something that makes me happy. You can get it to work. There we go. I love babies' laughs.
Is that baby's legs.
I love babies' lives. Like, they just cure whatever ails me. And if I'm having a bad day, sometimes I get to come home and with that baby and listen to him laugh. It just makes everything better. And this is a couple. Looks like they're in love. I think most people strive for this. They want to have, a significant other, a spouse that they can share their life with. Right? So I think that was more along the right lines of what really brings happiness is love. Now, not all of us, including me, have a significant other or a spouse, but that doesn't mean that love is irrelevant for us. We all need love in our lives. And so how do we achieve that? So we have a picture here of a man helping an elderly woman. And then here's one of two, it looks like high school age girls running a track race. Different teams, one is helping the other cross the finish line. And then here's the woman who has rolls of quarters, and you can see she's in front of a laundromat, which you need quarters to do the laundry, right? So she's going to go pass these quarters out. And I don't think you can see, but she has little cards that say kindness on them, so she's trying to be nice. And then this sign, I like the sign a lot. It says, "You have never really lived until you have done something for someone who can never repay you." And I think, being kind is always a good thing, but when you're kind to somebody who, is not going to be able to give you a reward or, give anything back, I think that's a true measure of kindness. And so kindness, our secret is revealed. And you may have heard this. Everyone is fighting a battle that you know nothing about, so be kind always. I think, we all have hardships in life, bad days, that kind of thing. Sometimes we will snap at people or, say something mean, not really meaning to. But what about the people who are just really mean-spirited, mean-hearted, and constantly mean to you? Do you think they deserve kindness? I think some people might say no, and they might have some valid reasons behind it. But people have been teaching about kindness for thousands of years. I mean, we have well-known world leaders who, have good quotes about kindness. And here's one. This is Gandhi. He says, "An eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind." And Martin Luther King Jr. says, "Let no man pull you low enough to hate him." Religion teaches kindness. I chose the Bible. I think the Bible is pretty well known. Even if you're not religious, most people kind of get the basics of what the Bible teaches. And one of the teachings is to love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. So even if you're not religious, then science has evidence that backs up what religion and world leaders say. And there is a blog by Peter Field, who's a psychotherapist, and he has found studies on kindness and compiled all of this research and made a list of 5 research-based reasons to be kind. The first one is that kindness is inbuilt. So we see a young kid, maybe, I would say probably about 14, 15 months old, vacuuming. And I think anyone who's familiar with kids or has kids of their own has experienced this, that they really do like to help. And my theory is this kid is probably helping clean up a mess he made. So the research on this is done by Dr. Michael Tomasello. He demonstrated that children begin to help others at an astonishing early age. And then there is the fact that kindness can have positive effects on the brain. So this is just like exercising. It has similar effects. And the studies have demonstrated that the psychological benefits of kindness are actually reflected in the neural circuitry of the brain. Okay, number 3. This one I like a lot. Kindness can actually help you live longer. A psychologist from the University of Michigan found that people who regularly offered practical help to others had a lower risk of dying over a 5-year period than those who did not. And what was interesting about this study is only those who practiced the kindness were the ones that benefited from the longevity and not the ones who received it. Kindness is contagious. Start a ripple of kindness with one simple act. Okay. And this one was done from a few different universities. Found that a person seeing someone else doing something kind produced good feelings, which subsequently caused that person that was witnessing it to reach out and do something altruistic themselves. And what I thought was interesting about this was it was not that they were receiving a kind act, but they were seeing it being done to someone else. And so here we come full circle to our happy friend. So kindness makes you happier. And this study was done at a university in Japan, which looked into the relationship between kindness and happiness. The results indicated that happiness was increased simply by counting kindnesses performed over the course of a week. The exercise also increased kindness and gratitude in the participants. So certainly being kind is not a new idea. It's not my idea. I would like to take credit for it, but it's not. But it doesn't seem like it's very often practiced. So here we have a picture of two men fighting and a lot of cars around. You can assume that maybe it's road rage. We live in LA. I think this concept isn't foreign to us. Maybe not to this extreme. But okay, so here's the challenge. I'm giving you all a challenge. If you're one of those who experiences the road rage in LA, someone flips you off or cuts you off on the freeway, instead of retaliating, you can smile and wave. And if windows are rolled down, which they often are in Southern California when it's nice and warm, you can say, "Have a nice day." Or this scenario, maybe a coworker gets a promotion over you, even though you were the one that really made them look good. You might feel that you deserve the promotion over them. One thing that you could do is celebrate with them. Not be bitter. Make them cookies, but eat the cookies with them so they know you're not bitter and that they're not poisoned. And you never know, your act of kindness might be the one that sparks a profound change in the world. And that is it.
Wow, thank you. That was good.